The first human contact is made on Luna. The recon team infiltrates the abandoned research facility, Alpha, Lunar Base. 2045. During the Cold War, tensions rise. Humanity pushes further to the moon, mining helium-3 from lunar soil. It was a race between the Americans and Russians, who both want the substance for thermonuclear fusion reactors. No one else was willing to send people to the barren gray wastelands under a sky full of deadly radiation. But it was worth it. Helium-3 powers the cities of tomorrow, enough energy to end humanity's dependence on fossil fuels. That was if the global governments didn't blow each other up first. But that never happened. Today, there are only ghosts. The Soviets left first, then the Americans. No one claims the moon now, not while it's still dangerous and difficult. Yet, somehow, the aliens seem undeterred. These are some of the toughest creatures in the galaxy. Born in the cold vacuum of space, raised among the poisonous gases of Jupiter's moons, they move like liquid shadows, sinking into the dust of the moon. Humans would leave footprints in the regolith. These leave scars that remain for centuries. The Scout watches, fascinated by the ghosts of humanity. Some of these are from the first moon landings, from astronauts whose names have been forgotten, achievements reduced to textbooks. Others are much newer, people walking, working, dancing, dreaming on the moon. Some records show entire families settling down, building lives amid the craters and silence. Then, suddenly, Earth sounds an alarm. The aliens drop low, but not in fear. This is a warning. A primitive species always alerts its colonies first. Interesting. They had assumed humans would flee the solar system long ago, but apparently they don't. After all, Earth feels the presence of the alien scouts. If they knew what they were, they would scream. But they don't. Earth doesn't know what lurks among the craters on the moon. The scout thinks again. They are too dangerous to be allowed to live, but perhaps also too valuable. Perhaps the scavengers can bring the Ascendancy great wealth. So it stays hidden as the humans carry on below, gathering around a radio to listen to the music and laughter of Earth. It hurts the scout's head. Too much noise. And yet somehow it stirs an ancient hunger deep inside, an urge to learn, to explore, to build, to love. The scout has seen a lot in their travels, but nothing quite like this. So it stays on the moon for longer than protocol allows, observing, listening, learning until Earth calls them back home. Back to the vast emptiness of the void. When the scout reports, the Ascendancy orders preparation for invasion. By now, it is obvious that Earth will be a prize worth taking. Billions of people broadcasting into the void. Think of the resources, the knowledge, the experiences packed into such a tiny corner of the galaxy. If Earth were brought into the fold, the Ascendancy would flourish like never before. Only one problem remains. Ancient precedent forbids it. Every record declares Earth exempt. If anyone knows why, it's Admiral Valdez, the oldest living member of the Ascendancy. He remembers a time before the exempt label appeared in the archives, before it became law that Earth must be avoided. Back then, it was a thriving young world. He remembers because he led the last official contact personally. The task force arrived ready to harvest. What humans lacked in technology, they made up for in numbers. But what truly impressed the Ascendancy was their tenacity. Humans fought back, fiercely, bravely, hopelessly. Of course, they lost in the end, but they refused to bend. All life submits eventually, but these humans fought to the last breath. That was over 800 years ago. The Ascendancy has changed since then. Now it is older, weaker, hungrier. We can choose to ignore the past or seize the future. It is up to us. The Admiral is silent. His kind does not choose. It calculates. The plan is set. Earth will be taken. Resources will be seized. Ships will be harvested. The galaxy will rejoice. And yet, as his kind prepares for war, the Admiral wonders what the consequences might be. He has lived a long time and seen much, but he hopes he is wrong. Somehow he fears the old tales are true. The first attacks come in secret. Earth's satellites are knocked offline, orbital mechanics disrupted, communications blackout. From the ground, people watch in confusion as familiar lights wink out. On Earth, conspiracy theories bloom. Astronomers work frantically to explain the chaos, but even they don't know. Nothing like this has ever happened before. No satellite attack could be so precise. The X-axis weapons aren't that advanced. Meanwhile, the real attackers close in. The Ascendancy deploys their most advanced stealth tech, cloaking the invasion fleet as it slips past orbital defenses. Once through the Van Allen belts, the ship jumps to light speed. Inside, humans could never follow. For those left behind, the darkness grows deeper. As night falls, power grids collapse. Global panic rises. Without communication satellites, there is no central command. Everyone is on their own. Then they hear the scream of missiles, nuclear launch. Any remaining military forces scramble to intercept. The Ascendancy knows these weapons well. Anti-missile defenses are bypassed with ease. Missiles strike home. Cities burn. The Earth weeps fire. It is beautiful. The Ascendancy has chosen strength. Through gene splicing and cybernetics, it has become stronger than anything natural. With clean efficiency, the fleet takes out key infrastructure. Deep underground bunkers, fortified government sites, communication hubs, electrical grids, hospitals, schools, homes. The Ascendancy wants Earth broken, desperate, demoralized. Yet something is wrong. Something is different. Back in the void, the fleet watches anxiously as Earth fights back. Explosions rock the surface, tracing patterns of defense. Missile launches answer strike for strike. Yes, the planet is burning, but it doesn't break. It lashes out. It hurts. The humans don't have cloaking devices, let alone faster than light travel. Yet somehow they see the attacks coming. Sometimes they predict the strikes correctly and the weapons miss. Other times they meet force with force. It is barbaric, but it works. The assault slows. The fleet holds back. This is not how it should be going. The Ascendancy fights to destroy, not to contain. But this time, they underestimated their prey. The humans are few and weak. Why do they fight so hard? Are they defending their homes? No, they aren't. Are they fighting for freedom? No, they aren't. The humans aren't fighting for glory, for faith, for ideals. They're fighting for the right to survive. They cling to life. Is that all? The fleet can destroy this in seconds, crush the spirit of rebellion with overwhelming force. But then, what happens next? The humans have no further use. They will be purged. Whatever wealth they hold will be scavenged, and the Earth will be claimed. That is how it's always been. And yet something in the Admiral stirs. He cannot name it. And so the fleet holds back, watching, waiting. On Earth, people struggle to defend their world. Humanity's greatest weapon isn't bombs or battleships. It's hope. They fight because they have to, not because they want to. They fight for every moment more. They will never win, but they will make the conquerors pay for every victory. That's the story of Earth. The galaxy just doesn't understand it. The alien fleet decides to finish it quickly. A barrage of antimatter warheads slams into the surface. The planet cries out. People look up at the sky with innocence, joy, terror. It doesn't matter. Earth is dying. But somehow the humans keep fighting. Their time is almost up. Soon the skies clear. Silence descends on a shattered world. The fleet approaches to claim their prize, only to find that Earth is gone. Where once there was a planet, there is now a beacon, steadfast and bright, pulsing with terrible power. Suddenly, the fleet is blinded. The beacon is detected as a massive energy surge builds, and then the Earth explodes, not with a bang, but with a thought. All of humanity's accumulated knowledge, all their innovations, discoveries, and dreams are sent hurtling into space. For the first time in their history, the Ascendancy is outgunned. None of their ships can withstand this blast. Whole fleets explode as the Earth's final defense activates. This is what it feels like to be human. No physical weapon, only the will to endure, to rise again. Somewhere, somehow, the Earth will rebuild. The galaxy understands now. There is no conquering Earth. There is no winning here. Only one rule applies. Never, ever disturb the sleeping giant. The aliens press further. A daring strike team slips into Earth's atmosphere, hidden above the clouds in orbital stealth. But within hours, stealth is broken. Somehow, Earth sees them. Not through sensors or weapons, but through eyes. Amateur stargazers, backyard telescopes, commercial pilots, they all spot the intruders. Humanity is watching everywhere, always with millions of pairs of curious, relentless eyes. No central authority commands this vigilance. It is instinctual, collective, uncoordinated, yet overwhelming. The aliens feel exposed, but that's just the beginning. For more than a century, humanity has been reaching for the stars. And though much of our exploration has been conducted by governments and large corporations, an even greater proportion has been undertaken by individuals, hobbyists with telescopes in their backyard or spacecraft in their garage. We are unique in the galaxy for our sheer tenacity and perseverance, and our history is filled with examples of people banding together to overcome disaster, hardship, and war. The aliens have come to conquer, but they have never seen anything like us before. So, as they close in for the kill, they send a small recon team to gather intelligence on the human psyche. What they discover both fascinates and terrifies them. So let's take a look at how humanity would freak out any alien invaders. This is the channel. No central authority commands this vigilance. It is instinctual, collective, uncoordinated, yet overwhelming. In 2013, a cube-shaped object was discovered orbiting Earth. For months, scientists were baffled. Some believed it may be a piece of space junk. Others theorized it could be a top-secret American satellite. But the mystery only deepened when the object remained stationary despite being in orbit around a rotating planet. Eventually, the truth was revealed. The object was a CubeSat, a tiny satellite launched by the Space Shepherd Educational Initiative, a group of amateur astronomers who had sent the first of 4 planned CubeSats into orbit to hunt for near-Earth objects. The CubeSat was equipped with a single camera and a small telescope, which were used to take pictures of passing satellites to estimate their size, shape, and altitude. But the mission soon proved to be more than the initiators had bargained for. When the images from the CubeSat were analyzed, it became clear that the object was not a satellite. It was tumbling end over end, just like a leaf spiraling down to the ground. At first, the initiators thought that something must have gone wrong with their satellite, but as they watched, it became clear that the object was deliberately changing course. It was being controlled by someone or something else, and so began the first contact between humans and aliens. What if these aliens did everything right? They come in peace, their technology is thousands of years advanced, and they respect our sovereignty. If that happened, we would probably still screw it up. It's what we do best. In the early days of spaceflight, there was a common joke among astronauts that you had to pass a test to be considered an astronaut. Today, the joke remains unchanged. The only difference is that the test now applies to anyone who wants to visit outer space. During the Gemini 3 mission in 1965, astronaut John Young famously brought a cat along with him to space. After the flight, NASA barred animals from future missions. That hasn't stopped people from trying, though. From Russian cosmonaut Sergei Krikalev bringing a goldfish to the Mir space station in 1997, to a Chinese taikonaut bringing a dog named Jing Jing to the moon in 2003, animals have continued to find their way onto spacecraft. In fact, one enterprising teenager even managed to smuggle a pet hamster onto the International Space Station by stowing away inside a delivery vehicle. Of course, most of these animals don't last long in space. Young's cat didn't survive the G-forces of launch, and the goldfish died after just 2 days on the Mir station. But humans are different. We can survive in space without life support for several minutes. We can even live there permanently, as the crew of the International Space Station prove every day. But what about when things go wrong? Humans are known throughout the galaxy for their ability to adapt and overcome. When faced with catastrophe, other species tend to break. But humans bend, change, and rise again stronger than before. Like wildfire, we spread across the galaxy, consuming entire planets in our wake. Like locusts, we leave nothing behind but scorched earth and dying stars. In the face of annihilation, other civilizations stagnate. They fall victim to infighting, disease, or despair. But we forge art out of sorrow, philosophy out of suffering, technology from constant conflict. There is no species in the galaxy that can match our tenacity, none that can rival our capacity for destruction. We are the hidden terror. We are the unconquerable spirit of mankind. We are the Watchers. A few weeks ago, the people of Earth received a message from the aliens. Through a combination of intercepted transmissions and decoded radio signals, they learned that the aliens meant them harm. Even worse, the aliens seemed determined to destroy the planet. Most governments responded by going dark, shutting down communication and hiding in the shadows. But some people refused to give up hope. Using ham radios and homemade antennas, they continued broadcasting music, jokes, and messages of love into the void. And then something amazing happened. The aliens began responding. At first, the messages were simple. One-word answers like go and stop. But soon, the conversations were more complex. The aliens began asking questions about human culture and history. And, in time, they started sharing their own stories. It was a remarkable development, a rare example of peaceful first contact between civilizations. But it wasn't to last. As the weeks passed, the alien messages became more erratic, then more violent. Soon, they were sending nothing but threats and insults, and then the broadcasts stopped altogether. Now, nobody knows what happened. Perhaps the aliens decided to strike first, or maybe they simply grew bored with humanity. Whatever the reason, the people of Earth are on their own once more. Their technology is so advanced they haven't even detected us. We're invisible to them until it's too late. We are the Watchers. The vast majority of UFO sightings can be explained as misidentified aircraft, meteors, or atmospheric phenomena. But a small percentage remain unexplained. These unidentified flying objects seem to defy the laws of physics, moving in ways that are impossible given what we know about aerodynamics and gravity. Some believe that these UFOs are evidence of extraterrestrial life. Others think they are top-secret military craft. But whatever the truth, we can be sure that the aliens have been watching us for a long time. And when they finally make their move, it will be devastating. Our best chance of survival lies in our ability to adapt and change. Other civilizations have failed this test, but we have not. We have survived nuclear war, economic collapse, and ecological disaster. We've even survived ourselves. We are the Watchers. And though we may seem like a primitive species to the aliens, we are also one of the most dangerous. We are unpredictable, resourceful, and tenacious. We never give up, and that makes us terrifying to those who would seek to conquer us. They underestimate us at their peril. Now the aliens have done everything right. They came in peace, offering advanced technology and promising prosperity. But they made one fatal mistake. They didn't understand human nature. They thought we would accept their gifts and bow before their power. But they forgot one crucial fact. Humans are free. We do not accept gifts from tyrants. And we will not bend the knee to any master. They've made one critical error in judgment. They've tried to control us. The aliens may be powerful, but they are not invincible. And we have shown time and again that we are willing to fight for our freedom. If they want war, we are ready. They're looking for signs of life, but we are already here. They'll search for intelligent signals, but we've been broadcasting for decades. They'll scan for technological signatures, but we're light years ahead of them. They'll comb the planet for evidence of life, but they won't find anything because we're already here. They'll wonder why nobody's come forward, why there's no sign of intelligent life anywhere. They'll be confused, frustrated, angry, and we'll be watching. We'll watch them land their ships and set foot on our planet for the first time. We'll see them marvel at the wonders of Earth, the beauty of our world, the diversity of our cultures, and we'll watch them try to understand us, to make sense of humanity. They'll study our history, our art, our literature, our music, and they'll still not understand us, because we are a mystery to them, an enigma wrapped in an atmosphere of confusion. We are the Watchers, and we have been here all along. Long ago, brave or foolish invaders tried. None returned. Some worlds still orbit as silent graveyards, husks of fleets that underestimated weak Earth. Humanity never needed advanced weapons. They fought with desperation, unity, and brilliance. And that was enough. Those who survived humanity did not speak of it out loud, but they spread the silent decree. Earth is off limits. The Council of the Orion Ascendancy receives the reconnaissance logs. They gather once again. The ruling Primarch plays the footage, armies of humans shouting with fearless defiance, explorers hurling themselves into oceans and stars, children laughing in the ruins of disasters. Their strength is madness, the Primarch finally says, a world that turns pain into fire. If we conquer them, we will inherit not a planet, but a curse, because such creatures cannot be enslaved. They will wait, endure, and one day rise again. The chamber falls into silence. For a moment, fear grips an empire that has destroyed hundreds of worlds. The vote is unanimous. Earth is dangerous, too dangerous. The Ascendancy will never touch it. And so the galaxy continues to whisper. Earth remains untouched, seated quietly in the spiral arm of the Milky Way, hidden beneath apparent frailty. But sometimes an empire will rise and fall, but life finds a way to endure. Sometimes, even when all hope is lost, a single ember can rekindle a dying fire. Humanity has proven it before. It will do so again. This will not be the end. But back to the present. The battle rages around them. Explosions light up the night sky. Men and women fight with every weapon at their disposal, every trick they've learned from a bygone era. Some die, many will die. But the aliens do not know it yet, because this is only the beginning. This is the story of mankind. Their enemies will learn that the hardest armor is forged in the fires of a dying sun, that the deadliest weapon is born of a mother's cry, that the greatest empires crumble to dust before a single human stands defiant, that no matter how dire the odds, the human spirit will survive, that even the tiniest spark can ignite an unstoppable blaze, that as long as there are two people left, humanity will endure, and if only one remains, it will still fight because that one is you. You are humanity, and you will not go quietly. This is the story of mankind. In the beginning, there was nothing. Then light ignited the void. From swirling chaos came a golden sun and a barren rock, ignored by the universe, forgotten by the gods. Life bloomed anyway. On the rock, oceans surged and mountains rose. A cradle formed and nurtured the miracle of life. But life was lonely. So life reached out, touched by an alien heat. Cells divided, organisms grew. Eons passed, species evolved. Life became a vibrant dance of predator and prey, of creation and destruction. Then came a change, a shift in the balance. From the heavens above, a new power descended. Creatures of metal and fire rained down from the skies, machines of war and death. Humanity scattered. Their cities turned to ash and steel. Their numbers dwindled, their spirits broken. All hope seemed lost. But amidst the ruins, a single ember glowed. A small band of survivors huddled near the dying light. Fear gnawed at them, but so did hope. Hope that flickered like a candle in the wind. For even in the darkest hour, hope whispered its promise of a new dawn. Led by a woman with eyes of fire, they ventured forth into the wasteland. The journey was fraught with peril. Desperate scavengers and monstrous machines of war lay in wait. But the band pressed on, united by their common grief and a shared purpose to rebuild. Along the way, they found others, survivors from different corners of the ruined world. And as their numbers grew, so did their strength. The woman with eyes of fire rallied them, reminding them of their shared heritage, their history of resilience and innovation. She spoke of a time before the machines, of towering cities and boundless wonders. Most of all, she reminded them of their potential, the potential that lay dormant beneath the ashes of their past. They faced many trials, battles against desperate men and machines, betrayals and losses that threatened to break their spirits. Yet they endured, for they were not just survivors. They were the inheritors of a legacy that stretched back through millennia, a legacy of innovation, ingenuity, and courage. They had tools left behind by the ancients, weapons of war and instruments of creation. With these, they rebuilt, first in small ways, then in greater ones. They established settlements, farms, and workshops. Slowly, the wasteland began to yield to their efforts. The survivors became a community, then a society.